All right. Good morning, everyone. I don't know how Andrew does it, but he's the first one on. Good to see that you're alive, my friend. Good morning. Good morning. All right. This week, Friday training is about transitioning. Let's fix the collar. Get Monday morning look good, right? Transitioning, finding a job, finding a new job, finding a new position in your job, finding something that you love to do, finding and learning where you can love to do it. It's about transitioning. We can do it personal and professional transitioning this Friday, free at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Join me. Hopefully, Team David Meltzer will pin that up there. He's a little slow on the draw. Anyway, it's David at dmeltzer.com. If you didn't get the exercises from last week, if you haven't got the Ultimate Ego, the pitch guide, the 5 to Thrive sales system, my book, just email me. I'll send it to you for free. David at dmeltzer.com. If you haven't joined my text community, there it is, 949-298-2905. We will be there for you. Let's take some questions. They're already in there. Very good. What is the most valuable lesson you learned last week? Always a good question. The most valuable question is, in the 5 to Thrive sales system, when you're trying to stimulate interest, I've broken it down to really finding someone with an open mind, because it's just as easy to sell someone one person with a closed mind as it is 1,000 people with an open mind. So if I can have a conversation with someone with an open mind and I can articulate value with credibility and an emotional attachment, I will have no problem sharing my vision and then managing and developing that and growing my business. So the importance of having a conversation with someone with an open mind is the biggest lesson that I learned last week. Is the text community on WhatsApp or Telegram? It's domestic right now only, so it's on telephone. But if you want, go ahead, email me, and I'll get you a way to text me. Kevin Stewart is here. Let me take one more question. I'll just add Kevin right now, the famous premier soccer player in UK. They call them footballers, but here we are. Let's see. Grab him. Entrepreneur. There he is.
Dave, you okay?
Oh, Beard. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thanks for joining me.
Nice. Good to be here, man. It's good to actually be here instead of just watching all the time of other people, and it's actually like it's surreal being on with you.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on in sports finance. So we're getting back to at least feeling like normal with all of our sports coming back on TV. Our biggest American football Sunday, and the angles that they took made it seem even better. So for you, I'd love for you to share, because a lot of people around the world probably don't know, what the circumstances are as a footballer there in Europe, what changes have been made, and then how has that affected you as an entrepreneur? Because obviously you have more time on your hands and trying to focus in on my trainings on transition. You're a perfect person to have because you're in transition all the time.
Yeah. So when it obviously this situation first came around, it was obviously nothing we've ever seen before. So really, we just went into lockdown and obviously spent a lot of time at home, and we had to do our own programs and really try and stay fit while being at home, which is a challenge in itself, because it's training by yourself is like so tough after a while. There's no one to push you or no one to socialize with while you're training. So that was tough. And then when we got back in, it kind of felt like normal, to be fair. It kind of just felt like you're coming back from a new season. And then just from there, you just had the normal the testings you had to do and the guidelines you had to stick to. But then I guess the biggest thing was just playing again with no fans. That was probably the biggest change, which I guess a lot of people are getting used to now. And as an entrepreneur, I guess it was actually better for me in that sense, because I obviously had a lot more time. And the only thing I had to be careful with is that with me, it's a problem when I get bored. Because when I get bored, I'm just super interested in everything. So I needed to be careful that I didn't try and take on too much. And then when the football comes back, I'm like, oh my God, why did I start so many things? Because I'm just like a super like action taker. If anything I like doing, I'll just get into it. So for me, it was good. I met a lot of people and like over Zoom and connected with a lot of people because I had a lot of time. So no, it was actually quite positive, to be fair.
Well, and that's one of the biggest things for all self-actualizing people. You have this ability that you must be what you can be. You have a creative mind that's an expression of a higher source of energy, light, and love. And then you end up, property investment, development, and then even, nutrition is so important. And we're finding here, even the biggest and strongest of our athletes are vegan. And that's one of the things that you've incorporated in your life, and you're passionate about it. You're looking at all types of different, vegan opportunities for human beings and animals. Give us an idea on the challenges that you weren't anticipating. Let's just say, for example, on the vegan related businesses, it sounds like a great idea here in America, vegan, CBD, keto, there's a variety of billion-dollar businesses that are all popping up. But what are some of the challenges when you do take on one of your passions and try to incorporate it into investment or business?
I think at first it's maybe the things I've got involved with is maybe because being vegan is your minority, I guess. So it's kind of thinking, okay, how many people are going to be interested in that kind of thing, and but at the same time you're seeing such growth in it. So it's a bit of both. So some days I feel like, it's really growing. I think it could really be successful. And then there's other times where, you have talks with people and you're like, oh my God, like I can never see many people being interested or anyone really making that transition, or not enough people making that transition. So I guess that's the challenge I think about the most, and probably taking away the fact that it's a vegan business, just the business in general, which is probably a big challenge. Obviously I'm quite new to it, so for me it's an enjoyable challenge because I'm like learning so much, especially when you're fresh to something. You've got so mujust to learn, so I'm just like learning new things every day with people that I'm working with and people that I'm connecting with. So I guess the challenge is just the learning about business and making sure you're doing the best you can to avoid mistakes that maybe other people have made, and just just trying to go as smooth as possible.
Yeah, no, and I think part of it for all athletes, because of the extraordinary wealth that we have when we're young, that things change quickly. And having the perspective that an injury, a trade, a release can change our lives. And it may not seem to change it dramatically at first, but as we start seeing the effect it has on our relationships with our family and friends, our relationships with banks, our relationships with associates and partners, it's so interesting to me as we go through these transitions, which is what I'm training about on Friday, that it's not an overnight effect or affect to what we're doing. That there's this trickle down that occurs, and you start looking at going, wait a second, well, now that I'm in transition, this is what's occurring with my family. They've always relied on me for this. This is what's happening with my bank because they've always relied on me here and doing this. And this is my business partners have relied on me. And then I think one of the lessons that comes out is, not intentionally, but a lot of people have taken advantage or manipulated, or we've entitled them because of the abundance mentality and the abundance that's been provided with us. And when we're going through transition, there's a lag in that abundance. And so it creates a stress on the economy. It creates a stress emotionally. Mm-hmm. How have you dealt with that transition as you're, going to sign with a new team? You're looking here to what your next steps are after playing for a whole city. I know with all the athletes that I've dealt with, this has been to the greatest challenge as an entrepreneur and as a person beyond being a great athlete. Yeah,
I think to be fair, I'm finding this period here now, it's a little bit strange, but at the same time it's really exciting because I feel like I'm at like a new stage of almost everything. So I'm obviously new to like business and new to property, and I'm in got like a development going on, and I'm a free agent, so it's like where am I gonna be? So at the same time, it's a bit strange, but it's exciting at the same time because I mean, like in a month's time or 2 months' time, everything could be so much different. And I think I'm someone who's more excited by uncertainty rather than get a bit scared by it or worried by it. So I think it's been good. So I mean, I think before, if I wasn't so interested in other things like business and And probably I think I'd be struggling a little bit more not playing football at the minute. But now I'm using my time like really, really wisely. I'm keeping myself busy, which is good. Like I said, if I'm bored, that's when I might do something silly or just get bored and go out with friends, or do you know what I mean? So it's good to have things to do in this period.
Well, that touch of favor mentality, which is so closely tied to gratitude, really pervades everything. There is that excitement, when you're a professional athlete, and even within the game, that, one touch of favor during the game can change the whole match, right? And the same thing holds true in our lives. Is like you said, you like the uncertainty because you have this great, gracious perspective that you're only, one no away from getting what you want, or you're one touch of favor from an extraordinary opportunity or life. And, how have you practiced gratitude even during, what most people have found to be extremely challenging times?
To be honest, one thing is what come from you. I think this is that 30 days of saying thank you every day and night before you go to bed, when you wake up. I really do believe in that. I think that's really powerful. And that's something that's credited to you, that I got it from. And but I think I've always had like a good sense of gratitude. I guess it's just how I've grown up and the people around me. And of course, yeah, at times it's challenging to, when certain things happen, it's challenging to get into that perspective. But like you say, it's like, I can't remember what you said, it's like drop and roll back into center or something like that. You mentioned. So I guess, what was it?
On fire. So
yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Well, the other thing that's so impressive about you, Kevin, is that, I always joke around, but the two biggest takeaways people get from my content and the help that I give is simply, number one, saying thank you before they go to bed or when they wake up, which is probably one of the first things that you learned growing up from your mom or grandma or parents. And then two, asking for help. And what caught my attention is, all these extraordinary athletes like yourself around the world that are reaching out to me, asking me for help, saying, look, I've had to coach my whole life on the pitch. I want the best off the pitch, and, can you or somebody help me? And I think those two lessons are learned at a very early age, to say thank you and ask for help, at least as far as my life went and many others. Yeah. So, have you had to fight that with humility when, just because you're a great athlete, people don't realize, hey, I need help as well?
Yeah, I think if you ask maybe a lot of people that I grew up with, especially my coaches, there's one coach that always told me that I asked too much questions. So, but I never seen it as a bad thing, because and I've never really probably struggled to ask for help. I'm not sure. I guess because I'm always really wanting to improve, and I kind of maybe do whatever it takes. So I don't think I have that. I don't know if it's an embarrassment to people that struggle to ask for help. Maybe if they're a little bit embarrassed by it, or but yeah, I don't think that's something that I've struggled with.
Yeah, well, I think when people ask for help too, or ask questions, at least, especially in the team format, 'cause I used to be the same way when I played sports in college. I'd ask a question and then guys would thank me afterwards, going, oh, thanks for asking that, man. I've been wondering that for 3 years. Anyway, Thank you so much for joining me with your great perspective and humility. Obviously, great athlete, involved in property investment, development, and some vegan-related businesses, all great places to be. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to help you.
Cheers, Dave.
I look forward to doing more. Thank you for coming on. And let's
sure. Yeah, 100%. Cheers, Dave. Good to see you.
Go ahead, exit out for me. My Instagram, we try to figure out why it won't let me exit my guests. But
okay, see you later. No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's take a quick question. Thank you, Kevin Stewart. I love this question. Do you believe in aliens? Yes, I believe in aliens. I believe that in the millions or billions of galaxies out there, that there is other life. I'm not so sure at what degree all the alien stories are true or not, but I believe in aliens, that there's life on other planets. I do believe that. All right, what do you think is best way for people to find their superpowers? Well, they have to look within, right? I think the best way to find your superpowers is to figure out what you are good at by, maybe reflecting on what people say. Oh my God, how do you do that? That's one of the key indicators for me on superpowers, is I'm always looking for people to say, man, how do you do that? That's incredible. So looking there. Carlin is here. We got Professional Athlete Day. We're going European sports and world sports. One of my favorite sports in the world is rugby sevens. I think if it was around when I was in college. There he is, the world's best rugby sevens player. What's going on?
Hey, my man, how you doing?
I am great, man. I am just so excited to talk to you. I've been involved in the sevens game for a long time, since Dan Lyle and David Hodges. I played football in college with David Hodges. Did you know that?
Oh, man, I didn't know that.
He's the reason I was so good. I never had to tackle anybody because
Hey, there you go. There you go.
And he's one mean dude on the football field.
Oh, you're not lying. He is. He is for sure.
He's intimidating. But, you set some records with 202 tries. You are taking the sevens game to the next level. It's, even playing field for America to bring rugby around the world, because I think we have a great chance to win the world championship and even the gold medal come next summer. And so for you, what was, the big catalyst to transitioning from football, obviously what you played professionally, over to the sevens game?
Ooh, say that again. I'm sorry. Say that first part.
I think the future of the sevens game is guys like you that are professional football players, and the game translates much easier. The sevens game translates much easier for great football players like yourself to play. For you, what was the catalyst to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and play rugby instead of football?
Man, for me, I guess it was my speed. I knew I was fast. I also knew that I was tenacious as well. I knew I had the footwork. I knew I had the work ethic. I knew how to drive. So for me, when I start watching it, and all these ideas kind of popped into my mind, and I'm just like, yo, I know I could do this. And so for me, at that point, I just had to go give it a try, because I knew I had the ability to do what everybody else was doing, and plus maybe more.
Yeah, for me, football, when I left in college, the thing I missed most was the locker room,
Oh yeah.
camaraderie. My favorite part about rugby is this between both teams, and you get that great team feeling and team leadership. Is that true in the sevens game as well? Is there a great feeling of team essence while you're playing?
Oh man, that's a great team essence in rugby. The not only the rugby community in general, but the atmosphere, the support you get from people, your teammates, it's second to none. And you spend a lot of time with these guys over years and years and years, and you're almost around each other more than you are with your family, and you build a good a foundation and base of a family with these guys. So it's incredible, because you learn these guys in and out, and you have to, because we play. Only that, we have to talk. We got to communicate like all the time. It's constant communication on the field. So if somebody's off that day or got family issues or whatever it is, it affects on the field. So we get to know each other very well on and off the field. So it's nothing like it, man. And there's no, a lot of people got egos involved and things like that. And in rugby, it's none of that. And it's great, man. It's really great. It's different.
Yeah, we are doing a training on transitioning this Friday, and nobody transitions more than a guy who's played at the highest levels in college and professional, and then now not only transition into the rugby sevens game, but worldwide the team itself is making a transition, because rugby, like soccer, with Kevin Stewart, we were never even considered to be competitive. And although we had really great athletes playing, and now in the sevens, I would say, we have the world's finest athletes on our sevens team, but we have the advantage that the game doesn't have, hundreds of years of history, so that we know the nuances of the game just as well as anybody else. And our skill set translates over. What are some of the things when you're transitioning from college to pro football, from pro football to the sevens? What were some of the things that you did to make that transition easier?
For me, I'm all about habits. I instilled great habits when I was younger, for me to be able to transition and be, at the optimum level as possible, regardless. So I'm a process person. I'm all about the process. And I work hard, one. I know my body. 3, I know what it takes to keep something, to maintain something. And I think just discipline. I think you'll never become what you're not being on a day-to-day basis, regardless of the situation or circumstances. And for me, I owned and honed my skills. I knew what I was great at. I knew I was good at, and I made sure I was the best at it. And I knew whatever, regardless of what sport or where I was at, that I had to show people that I'm different than everybody else. I had to show them that I'm special, because a lot of people don't work hard enough or got a gift but don't own it or hone it, or work on their craft like they need to, and you could be subpar, blend in with everybody else. But for me, regardless of whatever sport I was going to do, I was going to show that I was different, and I think that's key.
You
But
know,
but
oh,
my work ethic and my ability to get everything out of me or hone my skills was, I think, what set me apart.
yeah, I think Carlin, I'm a big fan of enjoying the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your own potential.
Yep.
And for research and saw your career and talked to your coaches, you are one of those guys that adhere to my life's definition of happiness, right? Enjoying that consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your own potential, not listening to what other people said ever about you. To that respect, I'm a huge rugby sevens fan. It's one of my favorite sports in the world. And as you know, I've been in the sports business and game for 35 years. It's one of the most exciting, content-wise, it's amazing game to watch. And as
Cheers.
their lacrosse builds momentum and soccer in America builds momentum, and of course the big four are there as well, how can we build the brand? How can we build the community to where it should be for the rugby sevens game? What are you think the 3 best things that we could do, or give me 1 or 2 if you have them?
I think just tell it, whatever media outlets there is, if it's television, is just getting people to see it and watch it. Everything's built on either social media or TV, and that's where all the audiences are. And I think the more you get it showcased and publicized, then the better it is for the sport and for the U.S. around in general. I think the better we do better, the more people will see. I think last year we finished like second in the world, and we never done that before. So I think the better we do, and the more attention we get, the better it is for the sport in general.
Yeah, no doubt. Winning there's a lot, right? When you become the
Yeah.
best. Where can people watch rugby sevens? Where can they go?
They have it on ESPN, ESPN that, where they could pay. I think they have to pay, and then they can watch all our games. Sometimes they tell about, well, we have one that we host in LA. It was in Vegas. That's on NBC, I think.
Yep.
And then they have HSBC World Series. I think it's online where you can get updates, and then you can watch it live stream or whatever it is. And yeah, so there's a couple outlets they can do.
And everybody can follow you at Carlin Isles. And where else can they reach you at?
You reach me on. I have a Facebook fan page. I got Carlin Isles, IG, and then I think Carlin_Isles on Twitter. So you just type in my name, you'll find me. Just Carlin Isles.
Well, you're easy to find as you're running by everybody, especially when you're on the field. Everybody sees you immediately with incredible speed and coordination, by the way. It's not about just being fast. There's plenty of,
Correct.
we as at Leeds, we represented Carl Lewis, and I asked him about, why don't they just sign you on a football team and tell you to run straight out? And he said, because it's just not about being fast, Dave.
You got that. Hey, you got that right. And I think people, when they see me, they think like, or see me running past people and think that it's easy. No, Jack, man, it's a lot, man. Especially when it comes to endurance, reading pictures, understanding the game, your intuition. It's a lot that go into it, man. And I think this rugby is probably the hardest training I've ever done in my life, and I've done a lot of sports, and there's
Yeah,
nothing like it, man. And the mental aspect of it, and what it takes to, like, what we endure and what it takes to play rugby, it's, especially on this highest level, second to none.
I agree, and blessed to help out. I'm on the Olympic committee, and as the Olympics as well take it on as a sport, we're going to see a great awareness this next summer of how great in the World Championships, You are especially. So please keep in touch with me if you need anything. Let's build that brand, build the community, because it is one of the best sports in the world, one of the most exciting things to watch. It will have you on the edge of your seat the entire time. And it's a fun thing to see, man. When people get there, I remember the first sevens tournament we did at Petco. It was the first time that they ran out of beer. They sold it
Oh,
completely. The whole stadium ran
crazy.
out.
They go
The fan-
wild, man. Them rugby fans is wild. It's wild.
It is a great community. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Check him out, Carl Isles, at Carlin Isles. You can check him out anywhere. Just Google him. You'll find him. The world's best rugby sevens player. Thank you for joining me, my friend.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate you.
Drive carefully. Go ahead, exit out. They've not allowed me. They don't want me to cancel anybody. So
I got
exit out. All right, we'll get on to the next questions. Have a great day. Have a great week. We'll keep it going here. Good guest today. We're a little bit on the transition side of things. Two athletes that have transitioned successfully into business and into other sports. Learn how to transition this Friday. If you haven't got my guides from last week or weeks before, the Ultimate Ego Guide, the Pitch Guide, how to pitch, the 5 to Thrive Selling Guide, all of those are available for free. My books are available for free. Just email me. It's pinned right below, david@dmeltzer.com. And if you want to join my text community, just text me 949-298-2905. What is the best way to find ambassadors for your brand? Provide value and ask for help. So people ask me all the time, what can I do for you, Dave? And I always say, share my content and do good deeds. Share my content and do good deeds. If you share my content and have people come to the Friday trainings at 11 a.m., or if they can't make it, it's featured on Spotify. It's featured on Entrepreneur, the Playbook. Download it. Over 500 episodes. Check it out. The trainings are my number one. I would think it would be some of these great guests that I've had, but it is the trainings that people like to improve themselves. This week's training is on transitioning internally and externally, professionally and personally. Transition is something of growing and accelerating. Let's take another few questions as we're getting going. What is the best piece of advice you've received? Ask for help, right? Be kind to your future self, do good deeds, but ask for help. It's just, I still don't ask for help enough. I think I have to do it on my own. And the most efficient way of getting what you want is to figure out what you want, to take inventory of your values every day, personal experiential giving and receiving values, and ask for it from somebody that sits in that situation to give it to you or to help you get it. Ask for help. That's what I'm talking about. Ask, radical humility. Get the next question here. What do you say thanks for daily? Well, I say twice before I go to bed. I thank you, God, for giving me at least 10 people I can help every single day. I thank God for my health. I thank him for my family, and I thank him for the activity I get paid for. And those are things that are set every single day and priorities for me. Do you have a set formula to stand in your power? To practice, that's my set formula. To enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential, that's my formula. Practice. I'm on a journey, and I don't attach my emotions to the outcome. I attach my emotions to the consistent, persistent behavior. Do you ever ask yourself how you're accountable for unexpected opportunities in your life? Absolutely. The accountability, so gratitude, forgiveness, and then accountability. Accountability to me is not responsibility or liability. Accountability is, what did I do to attract this to my life, and what am I supposed to learn from it? So every single day, including the pandemic, what did I do to attract the pandemic to my life, and what am I supposed to learn from it? This is how we find the light, the love, and the lessons. This is how we see pain as an indicator, not a stop sign, indicating us that there's a better direction to go, or a direction that makes our situation better, indicating that there's a lesson to learn in order to do that, indicator that we can find the light, the love, and the lessons in everything that we do. All right, let's see here. The person's always trying to get Danica. Here we go. What was it like to play for Liverpool FC? Yeah, how about that? Kevin Stewart played for Liverpool. Here we go. Tech startup, fix toxic culture or leave toxic culture? Fix toxic culture or leave toxic culture? Well, I would try to fix it, and if it's not fixable, then I would leave, right? I always say that try to understand it, pray for its happiness, and if that works, great. Then if not, try to let it fall away, and if not, then run away. But pray for its happiness nonetheless. So, try to fix it. If not, leave. And I have done that in my life. Here we go. How to stop being an introvert. Practice. So every day, reach out to one person, in person, on the phone, via email or media, and then the next day try two, and keep on building from there. Lower the bar. Remember, one person a day is worth more than 10 on a Saturday. It will have a measurable difference in your life. Quantumly, you'll be able to impact the way that your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious work together to give you clarity, balance, and focus, and confidence in being an intro or an extrovert. How do you measure success? Proofs of concept. I'm ideating products and need to know how much ad to spend. Create a vending machine, right? For me, it's quantitative analysis of the reasons I want to do it, impact and capabilities. If I want to get a formula or a vending machine, if I put this much money in, this is what's going to come out. The more confident I am on the regulation of that machine, meaning that it performs at a consistent level, then it becomes very easy what to put into it and to help and get others to do so as well. How do I enjoy life more? 4 things you need to focus in on to enjoy your life. 1, gratitude. Practice finding the light, the love, and the lessons in everything. I promise you, you'll enjoy your life more. 2, be forgiving. Forgive yourself, and you'll be able to forgive others. And don't forgive others because they deserve it. Forgive others because you deserve it. 3, be accountable. Find and take control in your life, that you are accountable for everything that comes into your life, and learn the lessons from it. And then finally, understand effective communication or inspiration, meaning it's not just what you are connected with, it's what you are also connected to at all times. So what we want to do is clear that interference or corrosion to the greatest source of light, love, and lessons that we're always connected to, that source energy, that incredible light and love that we're always connected to, and allow it to come through us with appreciation, forgiveness, and accountability, so that we add value to it. Obviously, gratitude would give appreciation, but appreciate is adding our own values, personal, experiential, giving and receiving values to it, and letting go of it to others, reminding ourselves that not only do we have to effectively communicate with that which we're connected to, but also everything else we're connected to. A tree has no branches. Too many times we think that one branch of a tree would go to war against another branch. Not true. It will all impact and affect us. That's why this idea of karmic balance exists, because it's just oneness. So it all formulates together and creates that. Mike, good to see you on there. Let's see here. How do I keep working on my goals when I'm feeling down? Do I just keep going or take a break and wait? Well, I think if you're feeling down, we have to understand the difference between motivation and inspiration. So when we're feeling down, what makes us get up, get back up, get started, get restarted, is the idea of motivation. But we then have to transition it utilizing that connectivity I was talking about, from what we're connected to everything else, to be inspired. Motivation will get you up, get you back up. Inspiration will get you there. And so if you're feeling down, let's focus in on that. Fear can motivate you. It's just not going to last. It's a soul sucker. It's an energy sucker. But if we are cognizant and rational about, I'm going to use motivation to get up, get started, to get that momentum moving, since even Einstein says nothing happens till it moves, then I'm going to transition that into, of course, inspiration. How do you think Hull will do this season? I'm sure that was for Kevin, but I think they're going to do well. Let me see here. How did you create your wealth, and how did you know it will work out? Well, I created my wealth by utilizing 5 daily activities: taking inventory of my values, asking and attracting, student in my calendar, doing it now, and understanding inspiration. I connected the dots backwards and very focused on my what. And throughout my career, I knew that everything always works out for me. Everything will come at the right way at the perfect time. I see pain as an indicator, as I said, not a stop sign. So there's been plenty of challenges and pain in my life, but always seeing it pushing me towards what I want, not away from it, pushing me towards something better. My general philosophy that created my wealth and allows me to know that everything will work out is, I've always loved where I'm at, and believed I would angle towards what I want and end up somewhere even better than that. So looking towards that. Last question real quick. Book, I like this question. Book that changed your life. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Power of Intention, Dr. Wayne Dyer, and A Course in Miracles. 3 books that changed my life that I read every single day still today. And love that. Anyway, this Friday, we're doing training on transitioning, personal, professional transition from where you are to what you want to do internally, externally, transitioning, how to live that life of loving where you're at, angling towards what you want, having faith that you'll end up somewhere better. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. If you did not get to catch the training on Friday, it is featured on Spotify today. It is featured on Entrepreneur. Just download the playbook. You'll get all the trainings. If you want any of the exercises and guides for free, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want my book for free, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want to join my text community, it's 949-298-2905. All of that's pinned below. You can find it. Hi, Kate. Most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. We'll see you later.